Hello friends, we are going to discuss here about hormones. Hormones are the secretions of various glands which are present inside our body. These are responsible for all kinds of physiological as well as pathological functions of the body. If these hormonal secretions are altered, then the disease starts there. At the beginning of this alteration, the symptoms cannot be manifested outside, so it's difficult to know. Only after some duration of this, when the symptom starts reflecting outside, we will come to know that we have an hormonal imbalance. Particularly, the women are more prone to develop hormonal imbalance as the milestones in the reproductive system happens: puberty, menstrual cycle, pregnancy, and childbirth and menopause. So they are more prone to develop hormonal imbalance. As I told you, after prolonged duration of this hormonal imbalance only, the symptoms are externally manifested in the form of abnormal weight or obesity or abnormal facial hair, irregular periods, etc. So these are the end results of hormonal imbalance. Now, is it possible to know this hormonal imbalance as soon as it starts inside? Homeopathy is a wonderful system of therapy which studies the different mankinds. While treating an individual, it studies about the human behavior, the normal and abnormal reactions of that person to the individualistic stimulations, etc. So, from that angle of point, at a very early stage of hormonal imbalance, we can really know whether anyone is suffering from hormonal imbalance or not. Here I will discuss about three commonly used homeopathic medicines for hormonal imbalance, and how from the external behavior of the individual we can know about that internal imbalance of hormones that I will discuss here. Number one is the carcinosin. Carcinosin is the name of medicine that we give when we find the symptoms of long history of domination. The girl child, when is born in a family, particularly with the Indian culture, it is very common that the girl is being kept within four walls of the house. The girl should not get the social exposure, should not get more exposure to education, etc. Then should not be allowed to meet with the others. So little restricted life a girl should live. So it is a sort of domination, you can say, that starts from the beginning. So the girl thinks probably this is only the lifestyle. This is the way to live the life. So you can say it's a long history of domination. Or there can be a drunkard father or uncle or someone in the house who every day night comes having drunk and creates n number of nuisance. So the child is being taught that yes, you hide yourself somewhere so that you can protect yourself, or you keep yourself in a closed door so that you can protect yourself from that person. So this is also a sort of domination. So while taking the case detail, the homeopath asks about the childhood history. Another thing is a long history of abuse. The girl says, after much interrogation, says, yes, there is a neighboring man who has been abusing me since long time. Also, there can be a long history of abandonment. Abandonment, the mother or the father or the parents, they put the child in the boarding school because they don't want the child to be an obstacle in their lifestyle. So the child has been missing the parents' love from the beginning. So these things can be in the past childhood history. Now, when such a child or such a girl when gets married and he gets love from the husband or the in-laws, then he becomes insecure. Insecure about what? She becomes insecure about losing of these relatives or the loving people. So when the husband travels by air, the wife says, I am extremely scared. As long as he lands in his destination, I am very much anxious that something bad should not happen. The plane should not crash or some mishappening should not happen. He should reach on time. Or when such women they become mother, if the children are little late by few minutes late to come back from school, they become anxious. They are worried like anything. What happened? They're making telephone calls to school, to the van driver, everyone. What happens? Why are you late? Because there is a fear of losing them. So this is called anticipation with anxiety. This anticipation with anxiety has a long history in the childhood. Now the child is being brought up in such a way that he should not show his sad face to others. She will only show a smiley face to others. Here we can see two faces. So it is an artificial smile which she maintains, but internally she is equally depressed. It's also, we say, carcinosin is a doormat remedy. Doormat remedy means near the doorstep it will be there. Anyone who passes, who enters the house or comes out of the house, just rubs the shoe there so the dust can be cleaned there in the mat and then they can move. So despite of so much of sorrow, she doesn't express in front of others. Why? Because she has learned that the family should not be disturbed because of us. The family flow should go on a regular basis, continuously, as usual, without any disturbance, any interruption. She doesn't want to bring any disturbance in the family, so she will bottle up all the emotions inside and show a happy face outside. This is called carcinosin. Number two, another remedy called natramure. Here what happens? Here also you can have a very prolonged depression or grief from the childhood. The grief can be either loss of one of the parents or both parents since childhood. So there is a craving of the unconditional love, or the parents are working, both the parents are working, so they are not able to spend quality time with the child. So the child has been missing the parents. So that grief gathers inside. But she stays alone at home, so she cannot share those things with others. Sometimes we find that the parents teach excessive discipline to the child. You should go this way, you should do this, you should do that. So that discipline gets inculcated inside the mind of the child. So the child thinks this is only the way of life, to remain disciplined and not to share any emotion with anyone. Even after marriage, such girls, when they get the loving in-laws and loving husband also, they are hesitant to share their feelings with others. They are very much sad within, but they cannot express those things outside. However, it is different from the carcinosin previous remedy. How? In the term that carcinosin shows a happy face, but natramure face itself, you can see it is a sad, depressed face. Depressed face with a prolonged grief, silent grief, and a reserved personality is calling for natramure. There is another remedy called sepia. Sepia is a wonderful remedy. Most of these modern era women, they are benefited with this medicine. A well educated, well qualified lady having lot of dream after the academic, that dream of a career, good career, that everything is smashed when, now after the family settles, after she marries and she has to compromise with her career and look into the household work, look into the familial work, take care of the husband and children. So once upon a time, who used to be a very energetic, stylish, and very modern lady, now she is being put inside the four walls with the same day to day work. There is no change. It is a monotonous work for her. Taking care of the children, cooking food, washing the clothes, keeping care of the house. So this is the lifestyle. Then in within the mind, sometimes she will recall back that yes, I had a dream of career which is now no more seen in nearby. So that keeps on hurting her from within. And that creates an anger inside her. That anger is exploded outside in the form of shouting, yelling, using of the abusive language. So it is the internal frustration which she takes out. So there is a big difference between the faces you can see here. It is not the face of smiley face of carcinosin. It is not the sad and depressed face of natramure. It is rather an explosive expression of anger with a severe mood swing. Mood swing is what? Because she's an educated, qualified, civilized lady, so she knows the wrong expressions what she does. So immediately she repents and again she behaves well. But after some time, again that past memories refresh. So again she starts yelling at others. Very unpredictable mindset. It is sepia. So this is how the homeopathy learns the individual mindsets, the different mankind, and the cause of all these three is the hormonal imbalance, the continuous grief, continuous stress, all these are having origin in the release of the stress hormone, the anterior pituitary, the gland which releases the stress hormones, the hypothalamus, which stimulates the anterior pituitary. So there lies the cause. So prolonged happening of this altered stress hormone release brings such altered expressions of the mankind. So further detail, log on to my website drmeeta.com. If you are benefited with this presentation, do subscribe here so that the further release of lectures can be reached to you without any hassle. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me.